welcome to this week's episode of Work the Left Side. I am happy to announce, obviously, I am joined by Jay Vertigo, just another dude tearing it up, at the minute. So, yeah, it's awesome to have you on, dude. How are you going?
Yeah, I'm great, thank you. I mean, well, I'm a little worn out. Obviously, getting back at 3 in the morning yesterday, but
yeah, so yeah. So the T-shirt, obviously, you had a full day yesterday. A good 5-hour travel on the coach?
About 3 hour. Like, I didn't expect it to be like as quick as it was, but like the getting back was,
Well, this makes it even more appreciative. So yeah, thanks. Because if it was me, dude, I think I'd still be in bed. Just it's a bank holiday, day yesterday. So, but yeah, obviously, big day it's a big weekend for British wrestling in regards to all the shows that were on over the weekend. But let's talk about you. I mean, obviously, it's not going to be too long before I think you're tearing it up on shows of that level. You seem to be getting about a lot these days. Let's do the generic stuff first. Wrestling. What got you into it? Was it something you enjoyed as a kid? Was it something that you thought, I can do that?
Oh man. Well, I think I was like at my granddad's when I was like 6, and I remember seeing it on Channel 5, and I can't really remember what was even happening, but I was just like instantly, I loved it. And then like my first like distinct memory is the TLC match between the Hardleys, Dudleys, and Edge and Christian. And then I was like, that's it. I'm Jeff Hardy's biggest fan now. And then it was like from there, I like followed it until my teen years, and I think I had my emo years where I dropped off it a little bit, but then I came back into it in about, I don't know, I want to say like halfway through high school, and yeah, ever since then, just non-stop wrestling, everything.
Well, I mean, you're based where obviously, have you Sheffield born and bred? Have you always sort of?
No, so I'm Doncaster, but I'm like in between Doncaster and Rotherham, so right. I can get a bit pretty much everywhere in South Yorkshire.
Cool. So obviously you had a decent selection of schools then when you decided that it was something you wanted to do.
Yeah, so it was probably when 1PW originally shut down. They had a training school that formed for the trainees that would go to the 1PW Academy. And I think it was something like BPW, they called it. It didn't last very long. But yeah, we went to there and we got trained, I'd say, for about 2 months with them. And that's where I met Brad. Flash came and did a seminar with them. And then he was like, well, I'm starting up my own little training school, come along if you want. And we were just like happy to do anything back then, so we just went along, and then that's how we got in with the well, originally before MegaSlam it was called UBW, yeah. So that's how we got in with them, and then ever since then, cracked on.
So yeah, obviously we talked about MegaSlam beforehand. It is you talked about you still doing shows with them. It's kind of like the loyalty thing, which is awesome, because that's pretty much where you kind of cut your teeth. I would say that's where you did most of your learning.
Yeah. So I can't remember the years, but like for the stretch that it was UBW. We did all the working men's clubs and everything. And I got to do camp shows, everything, and got to learn. And I think I had like a stretch where I've had periods where I've been on and off with wrestling. So I think I've had like 2 stints where I've been out of wrestling. I come back to it. Yeah, then I came back into MegaSlam. I got to work some great guys, and yeah, and then obviously I think it was like 2017. I stopped wrestling. I think I just stopped enjoying it. I got burnt out a bit, and from then till pandemic sort of happened, I didn't wrestle at all, and then obviously Pursuit came about, and we started there, and that's me ever since.
Well, yeah, I'll mention Pursuit at some point, but the holiday camps, that's always something that interests me. When you get to talk to people about the holiday camps, they sort of say it's just an amazing experience. They highly recommend everybody who is learning to wrestle does the holiday camps, because it is just, it's a trial by fire kind of thing.
Yeah, with the holiday camps, it's because like you're not specifically there for wrestling fans. It's you've got to really work, and they'll tell you how they feel, and it's a great learning experience because you don't really have to wrestle. It's more about crowd interaction, and that's basically what being a wrestler is, really.
It's developing that character in it, kind of thing.
Yeah.
You've got to be able to. It's basically, it's kind of, some people have said it's very much like a live action. Not obviously pantomimes are live action, but it's a pantomime in a wrestling ring.
Yeah.
You've got the good guys have got to be super good, and the bad guys have got to be like uber sort of gnarly kind of thing. And you want the good guys definitely getting booed, and the bad guys cheered, the bad guys getting booed. And it's just working the audience a bit more than normal.
Yeah, I'd say that's where you cut your teeth, and you get to learn how to actually work the crowd. Whereas you can do all the fancy moves and everything, but necessarily that crowd wouldn't pop for half the stuff that a wrestling crowd's going for. So you've got to really work for it, and it does make you better in the long run.
Yeah, I suppose you've got, because basically, like you said, you can get by just doing the basics in a match, as long as you're pulling the audience in, you're working on their emotions. Yeah, you don't need to do all the flippy stuff, as long as you can just work on the foundations. And again, it's been just repetition, just doing it over and over.
That's
just
it.
Make a better performer.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, you're doing it every weekend as well, with a lot of those, especially like in the 6 weeks. I mean, you'd be in like a caravan every night, and it'd be a different place. That is good. Yeah.
I suppose obviously people, like say, whether you be in a van or there's 4 of you in a car, and you go from like one location to the next on the same day.
Yeah, it's a lot of work, but it's like in terms of like getting to learn wrestling, that's where I learned majority of things.
Yeah. So you mentioned pursuits. Obviously, you took it's weird. A few people that I've spoken to kind of have dipped in and out, kind of thing, or they burnt themselves out, and they had to step away for a few years, and then they came back.
Yeah.
I think Kemper was a guy that sort of said that he did it for X amount of time, then went away, and then came back. And again, Pursuit was a name that kind of popped up that pulled a few people back in, kind of thing. So did sort of Nathan or Liam just approach you then, or did you just turn up at Pursuit? Because I know they reached out to some people that they thought might be interested.
For me, I just saw it online one day, and like pre to the pandemic, I was like half and half. Like, do I go back training? Do I try? Because I want. My problem is, I'd done the camp show stuff for so many years. I never really got to experience the indie side.
Right.
So for me, I wanted to, if I was gonna go back, I wanted to go back and do the wrestling that I enjoy. So I was looking at schools and that, and then pandemic happened. It's put a stop to all that. And then randomly saw Pursuit being advertised. It's in Sheffield. It's like half an hour away from me. Went down to some of the early sessions, and I just fell in love with it. It was like the best thing to do every week, and it's continued to be that till now. So yeah, really enjoying it.
Yeah, it sounds like from everybody. Obviously, I've been all I seem to do at the minute is talk to guys from Pursuit, and there is a genuine reason for that kind of thing. But they all sort of seem to say, it's a very tight knit community. You guys are like some, whole misfit family. Or the Pursuit guys. You just sort of like help each other. And you kind of got all angles covered as well, where you're working on your character, you're working on the technical sides. It's just as a facility, as a school, it just seems to have, everything.
It's for me personally, I've never been to something that has a ring, a gym, a place to stretch. We were used to like working men's clubs on some dirty floor. Maybe you get a mattress, maybe you get a padding. You know, you don't get a ring. That's for sure. If you got a ring, you're probably working later on.
Yeah.
So
So,
yeah, I'm not used to like having the facility and everything. It's great.
it's like a 5-star hotel then, really, compared to what else you're used to, kind of thing.
Yeah, for sure. And
So,
and the ring's got a spring. All the rings that
oh,
we used to work, no spring, like boxing rings.
oh, dude. But I suppose, yeah, anything else, if you learn to take bumps on mattresses or zero spring rings, if you get to a decent ring, it must just feel like, as much as it can do, it just, yeah, like falling on, a bed of feathers or something in comparison.
Oh yeah, definitely, definitely.
So yeah, Pursuit, the whole Jay Vertigo character, man, it pops. I've seen sort of pictures and posters and matches, the entrances. How did that come about? Have you always been Jay Vertigo, or have you kind of tweaked it over the last few years?
Uh, Not really. Like so in my MegaSlam days, I was known as Jack Dynamo. That was a name not that I chose. It was sort of like given to me, and it's just this plain white meat, just baby face. So when I was coming back, I was like, well, what do I like? Because if I'm gonna be me, that's not really like entertaining. If I'm like just me, my normal self, that's a shy kid who likes metal and techno who can do a lot of flips. Like that could be anyone. So I was like, well, I need a gimmick. Um, and the thing that I got like looped into is the whole cyberpunk thing when it was coming out before it was a shit show release. The game. So before any of that happened, I got really looped into it and I bought into it and I was like, well, that no one really, not that I've seen, no one's really done anything like that.
Yeah.
And it's unique, and if I can pull it off, I'd like to do something like that because I'm really into it. So ever since I started doing the in-house shows, it's gone and gone and gone and gone until we're at the point today where it's like I feel like it's we're clicking on everything. There's something like you can say, well, that's different, or he does that different. You know what I mean?
You'll definitely stand out, dude. And like I said, yeah, the whole cyberpunk thing, it's definitely besides yourself, then obviously there might be other people out there that I'm not aware of that have got it as part of the character.
Yeah.
I'm not aware of them. So it's very unique as far as I'm concerned. Obviously everybody really sort of got behind like steampunk at one point and everything like that. So the cyberpunk is the evolution, and it's the next step. And yeah, dude, it works really well. And yeah, the game was a bit of I'm so hyped for that game before it came out, and then it was just kind of like, yeah, there's disappointments, and then that was just kind of felt very it's upsetting just to even talk about it. But yeah, the whole cyberpunk thing for yourself, dude, it stands out from a fan's point of view. It pops, and it fits the style as well, kind of thing. Definitely suits your in-ring work.
Yeah, totally. I mean, to go back to the game's much better now. It's patched, so
That's right.
if you get a chance to play
Uh,
it's great now. But like, yeah, back to wrestling. It just you have an idea like, why would like for me, my wrestling style all revolves around it as well. So like, I'm always like 2 steps ahead of the opponent, and then they have to get like something back on me, and everything just like nicely goes together, and it's like I have fun like just thinking of new things and ideas for it. It's great. It'll just come to me.
I was talking to Axel a few weeks ago, and he was kind of sort of saying for also I was talking to Alex, and he was saying for the Axel character, he's got like pieces of paper all over the place where he's just kind of like got ideas for the future for the character. It could go this way, it could go that way. Just working on development. I presume it's pretty much similar for yourself with the with the Vertigo character, where you've got a path, but then you've also got ideas also constantly popping into your head, thinking, I could do this or I could tweak that.
Yeah, definitely. There's it's like there's a never-ending stream of like you can go this way, you can go that way. It's and plus it depending on the person I'm working too. So like my character can feed off like if I were to go against Alex, say, that's totally different to what you're gonna get if I went against Kemper, So
I think you're not going to get the same match twice, are you? And that's a really good quality, especially in today's wrestling when you kind of I love a lot of the stuff, but a lot of it is I've seen that before, I've seen that before, I've seen that before. It's not pulling me in as much. And I think if you've got a character where you can switch it up, that just gives you another level.
Yeah, that's it, man. That's it.
But that's about character. That's why it's important to have a character, I think, sometimes.
And that's what I didn't have for the longest time. So for me, it's great getting to experience it. And even if something doesn't work, we can go and tweak it and come back to it. Or if I'm really stubborn about it, I can try and make it work.
There's how far do you push it though? Do you kind of if it's not working after 3, 4, several shows or whatever, would you then just kind of hold your hands up and be like, right, we need to try something else now?
Yeah, pretty much. This is the whole thing about why I'm heel in the in-house shows at the minute, because I did babyface for so long. Getting to experience heel work is it's challenging, but I enjoy it. I enjoy it more than being babyface, to be fair.
That was my next. I was going to say, see, this is a question I like asking people because people's answers vary. And yeah, if I know that you've worked face or you've worked heel, what do you prefer? Kind of thing. Obviously, you've just answered saying that you prefer working heel. Why?
It's mainly because like if I ever get booked on a show, or if I go back to my old me, it's always babyface. I'm not getting booked as a high flying dude with all the fucking LED glasses and everything. That's gonna come out as a heel. I'm getting booked as a baby. I know that. That's my cliche. So when I'm a heel, I mean, I get to do all my same sort of stuff, but I just get to experience a different side of it, and I'm kind of a meanie anyways to the crowd, so I enjoy giving the crowd a lot of shit.
Yeah, you get to antagonize people. It's like again, it's been said previously. It's easier to get an audience to boo you than it is to get you to get them to cheer you, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So it's not easy to be a twat to people than it is to be overly nice. I think it's just very hard to be really nice and seem genuine about it, to wrestling audience.
Yeah.
The white face baby faces, kind of white meat baby faces, that they get bored of it very quickly. And so I think being a heel, I think definitely gives you a bit more fun.
Yeah, like I said, because I've not experienced it that much in my career, so it's just nice to be able to beat up fools and just get booed.
Do you if you continued being booked as a heel though, do you think you'll you said about still doing like the same sort of moves and everything like that? Do you think you'd tweak the move set a bit more if you were working heel more regularly?
I think I already do, to be fair, because I'm a bit more hard hitting as a heel. Like I'll do I've started doing like fucking back elbow and stuff. And I lay stuff in a bit more. I noticed as watching back, I'm a bit more aggressive as a heel, and I could do with sort of merging that in between me and the baby face. But that's a work in progress at the minute.
Oh, that's it. Like we said before, man. Everything sort of just because the Vertigo character you're smashing it at the minute, it doesn't mean the evolution's finished. You haven't completed Jay Vertigo. There's still many more levels to go, kind of thing.
Oh, for sure. The next thing I want to try and do is like try and get like something that's not heel, not baby, somewhere in the middle, and that's the ideal thing. So
Yeah, trying to think. Trying to think of like if there's many. I think about the British wrestling scene is there's not many what we'd call treeners. I think you've got your sort of you got your good guys, you got your bad guys. But as fans, we're fuckers for cheering the bad guys anyway, kind of thing.
yeah,
And I think it takes a so yeah, if you could get a good balance of working as a tweener, again, I think that's another definitely a notch to the character.
yeah, definitely.
But again, that kind of comes back to obviously we talked about pursuits. Are you one of these guys that you just stick with the one school, or do you like to go to various ones at various times just to learn different things?
So I'm mainly Pursuit at the minute, just because I work during the week and it's quite hard to get like most of the other schools running Wednesday, Thursday night sessions. I just can't make it. Um, but yeah, the idea is going forward, we're going to try and get over Manchester. We're going to try and get over like Hull way, try and get up north. Um, I that's hopefully just get our face around there. We tried to make it to the shows. Me and Alex, Laura, Lawson. We tried to get out to the shows and help out where we can. But that'd be the next thing. Just trying to learn under new different schools, and then for Pursuit, they've got people coming down. So we did Sam Bailey's session the other day. I think they've got crews coming. So yeah, I look forward to learning under new people.
I think yeah, kind of so people do like sort of seminars and stuff, don't they, and things like that as well. I know I saw on social media that kind of Future Shock and Pursuit kind of swapped. You had Liam down there and Bailey, up here kind of thing.
Yeah,
And yeah, I mean, if they continue to do that, so say if Nathan, I can't pick up Nathan Cruz enough. So I think when he comes and you get to learn under Cruz, I think that's going to be mental.
yeah, yeah. It should be good. I'm looking forward to it.
And yeah, but as you said, you guys tried to get around. I was talking when we had Felicia on. I'm sure, yeah, she put you down as being a passenger in the drives. So she said, it's her, Alex, yourself. There's one other person I can't remember. I think it might have been Rebecca. But yeah, just sort of saying like you guys drive around together a lot.
Yeah, because we're like you've got established like crews. So there's Leeds crew, there's Manchester crew, or whatever. We're like the South Yorkshire crew. Yeah, so it'll be me, Alex, Laura, maybe Lawson, maybe someone else. It doesn't matter if there's a show going, we'll try and make it to it and show our face or whatever, even if we're not on, you know.
Well, there's that many shows popping up. I mean, obviously you guys worked Planet Wrestle recently.
Yeah.
As a newish promotion in Leeds, how did you find that? Because it looks like an amazing show. It looked like just a really good, fun show. I don't know, Jake's that kind of guy where he's just going to want that sort of fun environment.
I really enjoy Planet because it's just like Jake likes really like camp showy silliness. Like it's like a mix between camp and like just old school Shakara, which really works together. And we just get to go out there and have fun. And that's the great thing about it. Me and Liam had a really silly match on his first one. I've just had a kind of silly but kind of cool tag match with me and Resner and against Banch and Eve Bateman. So yeah, every time there's a Planet, it's always fun. It's always a laugh. It's just the PPW guys as well, so it's always like you just know it's going to be a fun time.
That's what I've noticed. I think that's why it started off kind of subconsciously, but I kind of tried to channel it. Is so over the last couple of months, 87% of people I've talked to have been from Pursuit. It's just because I keep seeing you guys popping up everywhere now, kind of thing. Whether it be up in North, Planet, True Grit, Tidal. You do just all over the shop. But it's good to see. I just think it just speaks volumes what you guys are doing, and just the progress you guys are making.
Yeah, yeah. Hopefully, like that just continues and continues, and the more of us get out here, there, and everywhere. It's just a sake of time at the minute.
I mean, I don't want to just make this like a pursuit show, because it's a Jay Vertigo show, but just because we're talking about it, is there a vibe when you're at training, you know, that you guys are absolutely smashing it, that you guys are sort of becoming, you know, like the next big things in the sense of exposure?
I would at training. I wouldn't say so. To be fair, at training, it's more like we're in there. We're just having fun.
Right.
We're just having fun learning wrestling, and there's everyone's having a laugh, sort of thing. It's more like when you're at the shows that you get that sort of vibe. And when we're all together and you see the group pics and it's genuine. It's that's us all, you know, loving it, and we've mainly all had great matches as well.
Like I said, that's the point. It just feels like a massive family now, kind of thing. I just think you're enjoying each other's company and elevating each other.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's that tight knit family that I don't think maybe some other people had at other schools, but I never certainly had it. I had my friends that came to wrestling training with me, but it just felt like you was going there to get beat up and then you got to wrestle a bit. That's my other training experience. But PPW, it's like, you know, it's always a good time and you're always going to have a laugh, and you might be a bit sore after.
Yeah. So right, okay, I'm going to touch on that in the sense of, obviously, you know, like obviously not besmirching anyone else or anything else, but so when you first started getting into it, then was it like your traditional old school, I'm just going to bend you till you break, and if you come back the day after, you know, the next week, awesome kind of thing?
Those like first year or two were like brutal.
Yeah.
You just got drilled and you got it. It wasn't even like we was learning like sophisticated wrestling. It's just so you're able to get on like your first show or whatever. And then once we were on those first shows, I think I was probably like a jobber for about a year, because I was only like 14, didn't really know. I was green, didn't really know what I was doing. Had ideas, but you was always working like guys that had been around. So, you know, they're having to work this skinny 14-year-old kid. I'm surprised I didn't get more shit beat out of me. But like as the years went on, we progressed and we got better, I think.
Yeah, no, I'd definitely say so, dude. But yeah, so again, you're one of these guys then that's been around for, I think, a lot longer than people realise. You sort of said then, you know, you started training when you was what, like 14.
Yeah.
So, you know, you've been around for a few years. I'd say just dipped in and out of it a few times. And then yeah, you've kind of got that consistency now. So
Yeah.
right. So obviously we're talking show. Well, probably last pursuit thing. First pursuit's obviously coming up in September. You guys hyped? You ready for this?
Oh yeah, definitely. The amount of eyes that are going to be on this show, I think it's near enough sold out, or it is sold out by now. So that's going to be crazy, because down at the facilities, when it's full, it's buzzing. And yeah, like I said, the amount of eyes that are going to be on it, I mean, hopefully we'll get the ball rolling from there, and there'll be a next pursuit and one to come after. And hopefully it'll build the Sheffield scene a bit more, because I think that's what's missing, really. You've got your Leeds scene, your Manchester scene. There's not really anything other than touring companies in the Yorkshire area, for sure.
I can't remember who I was talking to, but yeah, they said exactly the same sort of thing. They said for like a city the size of Sheffield, it's mental that there isn't really an established promotion, you know, that does shows on a regular basis. You know, especially if you live in Sheffield, yeah, you've got to go to Leeds, or you've got to go to, you know, Huddersfield or Doncaster, or, you know, other areas. But yeah, I think there's a massive gap in Sheffield that's to be tapped up.
Yeah, I'm surprised. Like, I mean, obviously pre-pandemic there were a few, but I'm surprised no one's tried to claim it, because the scene would be buzzing around our area if there were somewhere to go and work. I think that's what we're missing, and that's hopefully what Pursuit can provide.
Definitely as well. And if it kind of another promotion pops up on the back of that, it doesn't mean it's competition. It's just more places for you guys to work. Also, I've mentioned I'm based in Leeds now for my sins. We've got Tidal, which is more sort of Huddersfield side now, but I still class it a Leeds promotion. We've got Rise, we've got Planet, we've got True Grit. I don't think any of those guys see each other's competition because the talent there's so much crossover between the talent.
Yeah.
It gets eyes on the talent, gets eyes on their. If they're on your show next, it's going to get eyes on you as well.
That's it. And with those promotions, there's quite a difference in styles. Maybe you could say that Tidal and True Grit are quite similar, but
Rise is Rise, isn't it? Rise is something fight.
That's it.
And obviously Planet, you said that's got a different vibe to it as well. So yeah, Tidal and True Grit very sort of similar. I would sort of say your traditional shows.
Yeah.
And fucking mental, but in a great way. And Planet is different in a very fun way.
Yeah. So like even just a little bit, even if like one of those was come to Sheffield, it would give the rope of the area, and it might, but like hopefully First Pursuit, we get the ball rolling, and get some more eyes on some of our guys.
Yeah, I mean, definitely for that. I mean, I think there's plenty of eyes on you guys already, kind of thing, which is why I sort of say, we're seeing you, yourself, like sort of said, I mean, off the top of my head, I'm totally drawing a blank here. I do this to myself all the time. I try and think of something. Pressure, my head goes empty. But obviously, like I said, we said Planet, we said Pursuit. Obviously, I want to say he works obviously North as well.
I've not done North yet, but I've been.
Right. You've travelled up there, though.
Yeah.
Your name thinking of. But yeah, it seems like you guys are branching out. Whether you're going up there, networking, getting your face seen. It's just I think over the next 12 months, I think we're going to get to sort of see everybody popping up in a lot more places.
Yeah, hopefully. I've got my eyes on different places where I want to try and get in there. It's just not a waiting game, but just keep on persisting.
It's like we said, you sort of networking. You turn up, you're supposed to help out with the ring. You do X, Y, and Z. You just keep turning up until they sort of realise, this guy's, right, yeah, get them on the show, I presume.
Yeah, as annoying as it is sometimes, it's that's it. That's the whole thing, and hopefully we'll see it eventually. It'll come.
Yeah, like I say, I can't see it not. I just think, like I say, what you guys are doing, like say yourself, is that kind of say the word specifically. You're turning up, you're having matches, word of mouth. The fans are enjoying your matches, and promotions will start having to take note of that. And I think that stands out for a lot of guys, but especially yourself.
Oh, thank you, I appreciate that.
But it's the uniqueness of the character, like we discussed earlier. The whole cyberpunk thing. I just think there's a lot of. If I was booking a show and I was like, right, I need somebody new, something different. What haven't we seen before? I think you tick that box.
That'd be great. When do we want to go?
What do you want to drop though? Do you want to name drop the promotions that you're looking at, where you sort of?
Yes, I pretty much like all the guys you just said, bar Planet, because we're already in Planet. Rise, True Grit, Tidal, North. I'd like to get over to BWR, BWR, and some of the whole side. And then you got Manchester.
I think you fit well. Like, I think Future Shock and TNT and stuff would be really. I think you fit perfectly with their rosters.
That'd be great, honest. Like I said, that's the thing. I want to go and get as many places as I can.
Yeah, it's different experiences, isn't it? Like you sort of said, based on obviously you spent so many years early on just doing like you said, you didn't get to experience the indie side.
Yeah.
Usually the campsites and MegaSlam sort of stuff. So now that you've got your foot in the door, obviously you just kind of want to kick it down and, experience everything.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, with MegaSlam, he was working every sort of work weekend, and I don't think there was particularly like you can't really go work there, you can't work for them, or we'll not use you sort of thing. So nowadays, I think it's a bit more forgiving. I think everyone can go and work wherever they want, and it's more progressive in that sense.
I think they've got to be, aren't they? Otherwise, you're just going to lose talent. You've got to be open. And as we were saying before, it doesn't hurt the promotion if their talent goes off and works somewhere else. Because, you know what I mean? You could go work at another show. People there could really like your match, then see that you're on a MegaSlam show. So they're going to go to the MegaSlam show to see you.
Yeah, it's it works in both ways, but sometimes the old school promoters don't see it as that way.
Oh no, it's about exclusivity, isn't it? Kind of thing. You're like, well, if you want to see this guy, you can only see him on my show, kind of thing. So it kind of makes it more of a, I suppose, yeah, obviously it makes you feel a bit more like a big deal in that sense. But yeah, it's a double-edged sword, I think. I don't think there's one way that's right or one way that's wrong. I think there's just that old school mentality can kind of just be bent a little bit.
Yeah, for sure, and there's only a handful of promotions like that nowadays, anyway. So
yeah, I must admit, I was talking to some people, like especially there's still some out there which I love though. Is like I think they're like the All Stars and stuff, which are kind of like very still kayfabe. They've barely got any sort of thing on social medias, but they're absolutely still smashing it on the shows. They're pulling in like huge numbers.
yeah,
It's a very select few now, like you sort of said. It's they've got their market and they can smash it. Whereas I think a lot of other promotions have to do the social media thing. That's what I was going to mention as well. Actually, obviously, I was kind of looking through. Obviously, Twitter account for people that I talk to. There seems to be a massive gap in your social. Are you kind of just becoming more adapt or more willing to use sort of Twitter and social media to promote yourself?
yeah. Like I say, as the Jack Dynamo character, because it was something that was like forced upon me. I could never really get behind it, and I never really felt comfortable in sharing anything online because it wasn't like me. So yeah, as I've sort of adapted to the Jay Vertigo character, I've just sort of like put everything out that I could possibly get. If I ever got anything, I'd just put it straight out.
Because yeah, there was like I think it was like a 10-month gap between posts at one point. You're like
Yeah,
on your Twitter and stuff, and you could kind of sort of see it's like it's not overly comfortable. You're just not feeling it. And then
yeah,
like over the last 12 months, it's just been like, yeah, post. There we go. Right now now you're getting behind it kind of thing.
yeah. Like I say, if I ever get anything, it normally goes straight up on all of them. And that is the way to be nowadays. But it's just getting used to that. You constantly on your phone. I've got about 5 apps to put everything on.
I'm the same when I've obviously put up an episode. But the thing is, though, it's sort of total contradiction for me. I freaking hate social media, but you kind of have to use it as a means of a platform to, get your shit over. So I'm literally like, I'll jump on, I'll post my shit, I get off. I generally, I don't sit and scroll. I can't sit there and look at social media for more than like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
But yeah, I know that kind of drama of being like, oh fuck, I've got to post this, got to post this, got to post this. But I presume that's become part of training now. I'm presuming that obviously you've got in-ring work, you've got promo work, and I'd be very surprised if there isn't like a social media aspect of it, to promote yourself.
Yeah, that's the best thing that I think I've been able to learn at Pursuit, because it's not that you get taught about it, it's that people are more around to take photos, and you're getting professional photos and you're getting professional footage, and they're more accessible to, I'll send you your match, I'll send you this, I'll send you that, and there's someone tagging you in this, and before you know it, you've got loads of things to share. I never really experienced that anywhere else before. So yeah, it's just like, and the thing is with Liam and the way he teaches, it's like, yeah, just share everything that you feel comfortable sharing. That's it. And
I mean, I think it'll be similar to myself, where I hate self-promotion, even though I've got to do it, for the show. I've got to do this, got to do that. I hate self-promotion, I hate bigging myself up. I hate, posting stuff being like, look at me, look at me, look at me. But given what you do and given what I'm doing right now, it's a necessity, and it's something you kind of got to train your mind. You got to train your brain to do it.
Yeah, I think the thing is, like, if you sort of like go quiet, or you not post as much, you're sort of not in people's eyes. You sort of like not other people who are constantly there, are probably more in line to get your spots, and so it's keeping up with today's times, really.
Yeah, definitely. And like I said, it's just getting eyes on the prize. It's I suppose it's like we were talking about earlier, like how you go to other promotions just to get your face around, get to be seen. It's just another aspect of that. As opposed to doing it face to face, you're just getting your face seen, across a wider spectrum.
That's it, man. That's it. It's all about promoting yourself, as selfish as it is.
That's like I said, if you're anything like me, I just don't feel comfortable doing it, but it is a necessity, and it is a means to an end. But I think the more you do it, I've kind of found I'm getting better at it, or I'm feeling a bit more comfortable with it. But it's got to be worse for you guys, because you guys have literally got to be like, look at me, I'm fucking awesome. Book me, basically.
Yeah, well, it's not necessarily me self-promoting myself. It's whenever I share anything, other people from PPW are more inclined to share it, and we're all like sharing each other's stuff. So that aspect of it is really cool. And
I have noticed that whenever I tag you in something, it'll come up liked by Axel, Felicia, Kemper, anybody that's in the class kind of thing. And yeah, again, it just what made me think of you guys being really close knit family kind of thing.
yeah, we all share each other's shit. It's great. Love it.
But again, it's eyes on you, eyes on them, and it goes back to the you're elevating each other, and it's helping across the board. Right, what I want to mention in the sense of it's been talked about previously. Obviously, yourself as well, having been in and out of British wrestling, the actual British wrestling scene at the minute. Does it just feel more positive to you than it did maybe 5-6 years ago? It just seems like everybody seems to be helping each other more now than kind of not backstabbing, but kind of being very protective.
Yeah, like the locker rooms nowadays that I've been in are like great. Everyone's having a laugh, or if there is an issue or anything, it's easy to talk about it. Back when I was like wrestling, and there's like big names of the past that are no longer in locker rooms for whatever reasons, you just felt like you were walking on eggshells, and you couldn't really have a laugh because I was always the younger guy in the locker room full of like old vets. So it's definitely better nowadays, and I think the speaking out movement did wonders for locker room situations, anyways.
Oh yeah, plus as well from experience, obviously, you've been one of the younger guys, so many other people, I just presume as well, you wouldn't want the younger guys of today to feel like how you did then kind of thing. So you'd actually, you'll be approachable and you'll be nice to them.
Yeah. I hope that's how I come across. I mean, you still want to give the younger guys a little bit of shit, but you don't want to give them, you don't want to rinse them too much, like all them fearing you because they think you're gonna mess with them. So
yeah, I just think British wrestling as a whole at this moment in time it's I don't want to say it's peaking because that means there's going to be a decline at some point, but it's definitely an upward curve, and just not just for in ring, but for mentally for people, it just seems like a much better place. But I think that helps the in ring side of it as well. I think if you guys are happy, you perform better.
yeah, for sure. There's not as many big egos backstage. Everyone's got an ego in wrestling, and if you don't, you're full of shit. But there's not the big egos and the well, I'm gonna fucking kill you in the ring sort of thing anymore. It's everything can be hashed out if there is problems, or there genuinely isn't any problems. It's more to do with shows nowadays. So
yeah, I think that's, like I said, it just seems to be a common thread. I just want to soundboard it off with somebody else as well, just to make sure that I just wasn't imagining it. But yeah, it's nice to know it's just a nice place, that kind of things. So but yeah, obviously going forward, we've talked about promotions that not that you want to work at, but that I'm pretty certain that we will see you in the next 12 months. But obviously, titles, golds. You aiming for titles anywhere soon?
I wouldn't really think that that's a thing I thought about. I'm more like I just want to get on shows at this point. I mean, the only title I've ever had is the PPW one, which I obviously the first ever champion, and it was great. Hopefully, there's more to come. But yeah, I just want to get out there and get around, get my name here, name there.
Talk about so yeah, you was. I was going to put that in the description. Obviously, I spoke to Kemper, and he was champ at the time we're speaking to him. But you are the first ever Pursuit, champion. How did that? Was that just a moment where you just kind of like happy that they acknowledge? Because whenever somebody gets given the belt, to me, it's an acknowledgement of the talent, their ability. You are the face of the promotion for as long, while you have that belt. So was it just a nice, warm, fuzzy feeling that to get that acknowledgement?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I turned up on the day, didn't know what match I was in. They were like, "You're in the main, and it's you versus Nathan, and you're winning the belt." And I'm like, "Oh, wow." I didn't know how to take it. But yeah, and then actually winning the thing, it's like, yeah, and this is just so cool. I never had a belt, or if I did, it was like a really shitty boxing belt, not a real actual custom made one. So yeah, it was well cool, and I'm very humble and grateful that they wanted me to be the first ever champion. That's fucking brilliant, man.
The lineage starts with you. They look back at the history of that belt. It starts with you, doesn't it? You're the first name, and then everybody else kind of follows. So I know, obviously, in wrestling, people are just like, our belts don't mean anything, blah blah blah. As I said before, to me, they're a sign of acknowledgement.
Yeah.
So I can presume, when people show emotion when they win a title, it is genuine emotion because, like I said, you're being acknowledged. Not to steal a phrase from somebody else, but they are acknowledging you.
Yeah, it was definitely. And then like all the lads coming in, putting me on the shoulders and everything. That's genuine. Like I didn't expect any of that because I'm just like a shy guy that I'll get on with people, but you got to really get to know me before I like converse with you and get involved. So for them to like have me as part as a crew and to feel like that community together, and then I'm up on the shoulders with a belt. It's like honestly, it's one of the best matches just for that moment.
Yeah, that's awesome, dude. And yeah, I just like genuinely, like sort of said, because I just like the emotion of it, and I just knowing that it's genuine as well, kind of thing. And it's just like, but yeah, it's just a nice feeling. Again, it's just another aspect of the theme that's just it's nice to see. And like I say, I can only presume as a talent, it just makes you feel, like worthwhile. Makes you feel like everything that you did while you was dipping in and out of wrestling has finally been, it's paid off. It's worth it. You know what I mean? You've kind of got to that point now where you're like, right, okay, but we can go forward. And yeah, like I say, more gold, dude. Again, if I'd say in the next 12 months, I would expect, if we talk again in 12 months, I would expect you to have at least a couple of belts behind you showing off.
Yeah, hopefully it's not that intercontinental. I can't see if you can see it.
Oh, don't
Got a belt on the wall. I'm in the dark.
nice. But yeah, I expect to see some shiny belts behind you next time
Yeah.
we speak. So yeah, dude, I won't keep you for too much longer because I say when we was talking pre-recording, totally forgot the bank holiday. I kind of kicked my my other half took the little one out shopping, thankfully, so I didn't have a crazy 5-year-old running around behind me. So I will let you. We'll start wrapping up now before they get back. Of course. But yeah. I just want to say thanks for talking to me, dude, because I know it was, like I said, the key point of this is just I want people to see what you guys are doing, because I'm genuinely sort of mind blown at the level of talent that's out there at the minute, and I just think you guys are smashing it. So, what's your socials, dude? Where can people come and see you, see where your shows are, or what shows you're on?
Yeah, well, first of all, thanks for having me. And I've watched like a few of these past episodes, and everything that you're doing is like great at the minute, smashing it. But yeah, and I'll shout out some of my guys because we got to get the names in there. Yeah, so Alex, Axel, the Clown, and Felicia, go follow them. They're crazy. Lawson, my tag team partner, is part of this league.
He's on in a couple of weeks. I had the pleasure of talking to him in a few weeks, actually.
Yeah, so I gotta get Lawson in there. Banshee is like the guy that I've had like 3 or 4 matches with, and every time we have a match, we kill it. And then just like fucking everyone at PPW, because there's too many people to name, but just know that like I'm thinking about you all. But yeah, if you want to follow me, it's just put in Jay Vertigo on pretty much anything. Facebook, Instagram, X, TikTok. I'm on everything, even Threads, and I don't use it.
I mean, plus you said X. Obviously, I'll still say Twitter. I'm not going to call X bollocks things like that. It's Twitter. So, well, you're ahead of the game more than I am. But yeah, obviously, everybody that you just mentioned, awesome human beings. Lawson I'm looking forward to talking to him. I talk to him quite a lot on Instagram. He's just, he looks like a very scary but very lovable man kind of thing. Yeah, I think that's going to be a good ep, and obviously, no doubt, we'll discuss you as well during that time. And yeah, as a tag team, I think it's very reminiscent of sort of Misery Business, where you've kind of got the speed and the strength.
Yeah. That's a tag team with like I'd love to work.
Yeah.
Against Alan and Joe. I think that'd be a banger.
That would be awesome. Again, because the styles complement each other as well. You've got that. You could have the small guy versus the small guy, the big guy versus the big guy, and then the big guy versus the little guy on either side as well.
Yeah, that'd be a fucking sick match. I mean, me and Lawson, we've been friends since school, and we came up with wrestling, so we're like feed off each other really well.
Nice. Okay, that's cool. I can definitely next time I speak to him, I'll let him know. Well, he'll know anyway that I've talked to you because I'll be posting it all over. But yeah, if anybody wants to book that match, definitely would pay money to see Misery Business versus Lawson and Vertigo.
Oh, that'd be cool, man.
Right, I'm going to start a petition. I'm going to start a hashtag. I'm going to get this shit rolling. We're going to get that match done at some point. But no, dude, it's genuinely been an awesome pleasure talking to you. Thank you so much, and we will do it again at some point. Like I say, when you've got shiny belts behind you. Actually, we'll do it even if you don't have shiny belts. I'm not putting that pressure on you. Dude, thank you so much, and we will speak soon. But yeah, hit like, hit subscribe, share the video, do all the generic social media stuff, and we will see you again very soon.